Hey, OG art teacher here, about to teach you some scribbling. This is one of my favorite ways to do shading because it's super fun and loose. You can use any type of material to do this: crayon, marker, pencil, pen, a stick in the ground. Whatever you decide to use, scribbling's fun. So as always, when I'm teaching you a shading technique, we are going to make a value scale. This time I'm going to put the light source on this side to show you that it doesn't matter what side the light source comes from. It just matters whether or not you leave the lightest bright spot in the front next to the bright light. So scribbling is literally doing like spirals with your pen or pencil or marker or whatever you're choosing to use. The closer your scribbles are to each other, the darker it's going to look. And the looser and further apart they are, the lighter it's going to look. So I'm going to go down here, the light areas, and kind of start filling them in a little bit so that I can make sure that my dark areas look totally different than the ones in front. So I'm going to go back in, more scribbles, more scribbles. You're basically just doing little tiny circle spirals. And you can pick your pencil up, you don't have to. Pick your pen up, you don't have to. There's another drawing technique that I'm going to teach you, which is practice where you don't pick up your pen. I may have gone a little too far with the scribbling, but I really enjoy this technique. So as you can see, this one, and this one look pretty similar. You want them to not look so similar when you're doing your value scale. Now I'm going to show you how to shade a sphere using the Scribble technique. So you draw a circle, which there's circle practice somewhere. If you are struggling with the circle, do some circle practice, which is literally where you draw circles over and over and over and over again until your muscle memory starts to remember how to do the circular motion. Since I use the light source over here this time, I'm going to go ahead and pretend like the light source is coming from that direction. So I usually start out by kind of covering the whole area that I know is going to get shaded with some loose scribbles, and then at the edge I go a little bit deeper and make those tighter scribbles so that it looks like there is more value there, which means darker, and less value up here, which means lighter. It's kind of hard to get like a perfect fade with Scribble, but I have faith in you. I think you can do it. The shadow, since it's the opposite of where the light source would be, will go across, and it might even go a little bit underneath. And one of the purposes of doing shading is to try to get rid of the visual line that you drew of the circle. So that's called a contour line. You're trying to disappear the contour line into your shading technique, or your shading. So anyway, scribbling, one of my favorites. Really fun. It feels like you're painting with your pencil, or your pen, or your marker, whatever you've chosen to use for this particular exercise.